going on, everyone? This is Chris from 570 Wrench, and this is video 2 of the E46 competition drift build series. So, if you do not know what we're doing here, I essentially picked up this super cheap E46. It barely runs. You probably know that from the last video if you watched it. It starts up, automatically dies. Now, per the last video, we know that the fuel pressure is low when the pump is primed at the rail. It's about 10 psi low. So it totally makes sense that there's something going on, whether it's the fuel filter, the fuel pump, something's clogged up, or something is not allowing this car to get the proper fuel pressure at the rail. So this series, guys, this E46, it's a great platform for drifting. And I'm new to drifting, I'll be honest, but I'm not new to building cars. So I'm gonna take you along the whole entire process to not only build a drift car, I'm gonna take you guys through the whole process of learning to drift, essentially being a grassroots drifter, and then getting into some competitions where we're ready for it, and then trying to get bigger and bigger as a competitive drifter. So it's gonna be awesome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Get comfortable. It's gonna be a great episode. And guys, get involved down below in the comments. I will comment back to each and every one of you. I promise that. And yeah, let's get to it, shall we? All right. All right, so fuel filter should be just right under the car, driver's side. Yeah, so it's right under this plate here. So I'll pull this plate off for you guys on time lapse, and we'll see how this goes. So crawling underneath the car, guys, skid plates off, and just take a look at how horrible this all looks. So, obviously things are going to be rusty, but this is 22 years old, 165,000 miles. All this stuff here is supposed to be serviced at 80,000 miles and replaced. Not necessarily the regulator, but the filter. But, this just, the vacuum hose looks horrible. Going to the regulator, and then of course the filter looks like it was never changed. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the fuse for the fuel pump and run this car out of gas, because we're gonna start disconnecting lines and start replacing things. So got my needle nose pliers, got the fuse box underneath here. I know it's the 20 amp right here, so we're gonna pull that out. We're gonna start this car and let it run until it doesn't start at all anymore. Still starting a little bit, but we want to get everything out of its system. All right. I think we're good to go. So time to start pulling things apart, pulling fuel line, letting that fuel line drain out, and replacing that fuel filter and seeing what we could do about that regulator. Old fuel filter is out. All the gas has leaked out again because we relieved all the pressure from the pump. First off, spider webs everywhere, nasty red spiders falling down all over me. Yeah, hate that. So I want to get these rubber ends off. I'd like to try. This one's maybe like 1.5 inches. This one's maybe 6-7 inches. So I do have some new rubber line and a new filter. So here we are, new filter. I usually like to buy OEM, but again, it's a filter. So here she is. Good. Identical, looking good. And then I have my line right here as well. And then we have our hose clamps to clamp those babies on. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna try to get those old pieces of hosing off. If I can't, I can't. But I'm gonna see what I can do. All right, guys, let's continue. All right, so we successfully got the old filter out, and then those old little lines that connect to the hard lines and the regulator. Here we have our brand new filter and our brand new soft lines. Again, if you're doing this, make sure you get the properly rated SAE fuel pressure lines to withstand the proper pressure. These withstand 10 bar, or I think that's like 145 PSI. But as long as it withstands 50 plus for this BMW, we're good to go. So what I'll do now is I'm going to hook this side with a hose clamp to the regulator on the car. And then this I'm gonna hook to the fuel filter, and then we'll put it on the car and connect everything. And keep in mind, these are directional, so make sure you put them on in the proper flow direction. All right, fuel filter is in. Going to tighten down the hose clamps and mount it back up, put everything back together, put the fuse back in, and see what the fuel pressure is at. All right, guys, now that the filter is in, we're going to finish buttoning that up, get the skid plate back on, get the fuse back into the box for the fuel pump, and then we're gonna crank this thing over and see what the gauge reads. Very excited for this. Okay, we're buttoned up, so gotta take the Schrader valve off, get ready to put our pressure gauge on. We're gonna hop in, throw the fuse in, and give her some cranks. Okay. She needs to get some gas up. It's gonna take a little while because we obviously cleared out the whole system of fuel. Crank it a few more times. All right, guys, it fired right up. Let's see what it's at. Oh man, check that out. Check that out. Super exciting, and it's staying running too. I didn't put any starter fluid in it. Oh man, I think we got it. I think we got it, guys. I'm really excited right now. And non-cranking, so the actual PSI at the rail, yeah, this is good. It gained a little over 5 PSI with just the prime pump on, man. This is awesome. All right, guys, so got a little bit of a mess under me, but I think we fixed it and figured out the issue. It's starting right up, staying running, and it gained 10 PSI at the rail when running. And with just a prime pump, it gained 5 PSI at the rail. So guys, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna wrap up this video, get everything cleaned up. Thank you so much for watching. Now, next video, I think we're gonna take this thing for its first drive. Man, I am super pumped. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. E46 drift build going on right here. I'll see you all next time.